What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Mans, back at it with another video. And everyone, welcome to my November 2024 monthly check. And for those who are new to the channel or new to my monthly checks in general, it is where every single month, well, after every single month passes, I do a ranking of all the movies I saw that month, both new releases and movies I watched at home for the first time that everyone else that has seen that I haven't seen, and I will be ranking them from the worst to the best. Also, but before we get into actual beginning of the video, so guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, also maybe help with the YouTube algorithm, recommend it, and more people, maybe they could join that challenge. Feel free to comment your monthly checks down below. And after the ranking, by the way, I forgot to mention as well, I go over my overhaul, which is the new stuff I got this month, and then after that, I go over the new pictures I have on the ceiling. And unfortunately, no pictures the last month. It was just a really busy month for me, so hopefully y'all understand. And also ignore this. This is a bite mark from my new puppy. So anyways, in this month, last month, I saw a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new releases and 2 movies that I have not seen before that everyone else has seen before. And I'll say this right off the bat, I don't think there was an outright bad film that I saw this last month, but there's not like... I gotta take a drink of water every now and then because I'll be talking a lot. But anyways, yeah, there's no outright bad movies on this list. So coming in at last place at number 9, I have Red Dwarf. So this one, most people hated. I didn't hate it. I thought it was watchably okay. I mean, probably, maybe I'll label it as watchably bad, but it's watchably okay because I think some of the stuff they did with Chris Evans and his son in this movie, I thought was a little bit interesting, but you don't really get to connect with that relationship a whole lot throughout the movie because the kid's barely in it. But Chris Evans, I think, out of everyone in the movie, delivers the best performance. I think that the practical stuff they did with Krampus for the movie, I thought they did really good. CGI was surprisingly not that bad. It was more the green screen that was bad. That was that was probably the worst part. The dialogue's not that great. I don't think it was all that good. I just almost swallowed my tissue. Well, I technically did. The Rock continues to deliver performances that are basically just the same character over and over again. And this is yet another example here. I think the action sequences overall were quite fun, especially the snowman sequence that we all saw in the trailers. And yeah, it was just okay. It was a very meh, but it's a watchable movie. So maybe I can see myself rewatching this every single Christmas season. Alright, coming in at number 8, I have another Christmas movie last month. And that is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. So this is made by the same director of The Chosen, I believe. And he directed this one, and it's done by Lionsgate. So, going into this one, I was a little hesitant, to say the least, because I was worried if it was going to be too, how do I say this? I was worried if it was going to get too carried away with, like, I thought it was going to be an Angel Studios film, to say the least. And it wasn't quite that. I think it was actually pretty decent. I gave it a 3-star review on Letterboxd. I think this brings a lot of nostalgia for the old school Christmas movies. I would say this movie takes a lot of liberties from A Christmas Story and what's the other one? I forgot. It's on my Letterboxd. I say what it's compared to, but Christmas Story and some other movie. I forgot what. Which I think that also is to the movie's fault as well, because it is a little similar, too much similar to other Christmas movies that we've seen before, but it adds that little charm as well, for that old school sort of Christmas movie vibe. Performances were quite good. Yeah, overall it was decent. I gave it 3 stars. So yeah. Coming in at number 7, I have Moana 2. And Moana 2 was a safe sequel, but it was perfectly watchable. I don't think it's by far not on the same level of the first Moana, but overall, I would still say it was decent enough time at the theaters. It was, however, a little disappointing compared to other Disney movies that we got this year, particularly Inside Out 2, that we got in June, I think. So that was a little disappointing compared to that. I think the animation, for some reason, don't get me wrong, the animation is still good, but it kind of felt downgraded compared to the first film. All the musical numbers are a little downgraded compared to the first film. I mean, I will admit there are 2 songs in here that I thought were really good. One by Maui, of course. I think it was another great song by The Rock in here. That was another good one. Voice acting is really good. The actress that voices Moana also delivered another good song. I forgot what the name of the song was, but it's good too. And also this one, yeah, you get more side characters introduced, so that adds kind of a new perspective. They basically did the same thing that Inside Out 2 did, where you had more than 2 people on the journey, where you, as for the first film of Inside Out, you had Joy and Sadness try to get back to headquarters. In the second film, you have Joy, Fear, Disgust, and Anger try to get back to headquarters. And then that's the same thing here, where the first Moana is Moana and Maui and Heihei. This time around, you have Moana, Maui, Heihei, Pua, and 3 new characters I forgot the name of. But so that adds a little bit more fun to it. So yeah, overall decent. I didn't love it though. Coming in at number 6, I have Return to Oz, which, it's basically, I don't know how to explain it. I think this was originally a straight to Disney Channel movie when it came out, around the time frame it came out. And I think a lot of the time you can definitely tell it was a TV movie with some of the budget that happens inside here, with particularly the green screen. The green screen did not look good at all in here, and some of the CGI effects don't work. But most of the practical stuff I thought was pretty good, especially for Jack. I think that's a pumpkin guy's name. I think the robot's name was pretty good as well. Main performance of the girl that plays Wendy in here is okay. I don't know. There were some moments where it didn't feel as good, but there were moments that also I thought she did good with her performance. I enjoyed a whole lot of the horror aspects they added in here, particularly the first asylum bit that we get in the movie. I enjoyed that. And yeah. Coming in at number 5, ironically, another version of Oz, that being Wicked. And I thought this was really good. I liked it. I rarely love or like musicals. I always think usually they're decent, but not for me. And this would be added to the hands that I would say of musicals I like or love. I would say this one I really like. I think the Ariana Grande in here delivers a funny performance, because for some reason it came off to me as because she kept on getting criticized a lot since the whole entire donut incident. I feel she was kind of what's the word? I think she was kind of acknowledging her flaws over that time and kind of making fun of herself throughout this whole entire film as Glinda. So I thought that was a little extra charm to her performance, where she acknowledges that she was kind of a little crazy back then, I think. The main actress, I don't know her name, but the one that played the Wicked Witch of the West, I forgot what her name was. Again, sorry. Apatha, that's what her name is. The main actress that played Apatha did really great in her performance. A lot of the musical numbers, even though I'm not really a musical guy, I would say half of them I really enjoyed, then the other half of them I thought were a little, do we have to put that right after that? Anyways, Jeff Goldblum had a fun performance as the wizard, and, I think the action sequences were quite good, and the CGI was actually pretty good too. So, and I'm actually quite excited for the second movie. So I'm ready for that next year. Number 4, I have a movie that I believe not that it was, I think, a limited release in theaters. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if you guys got this in your theaters. But it's an indie Scottish film called Small Things Like These that has Cillian Murphy in it. It has Cillian Murphy, where he's a common coal salesman, where he's working for a job and he's giving coal away and stuff. And basically this was around the time frame where nuns basically kept people if they were being really, really bad or whatever. And I thought it was very suspenseful with the particular nuns. I think they were acted very, very well, and you definitely wanted them to get theirs at the end. I think all the acting is really good. It definitely fits around that Christmas time frame, or close to Christmas time frame, because it does happen around then. So yeah, overall I would say overall really enjoyed this one. However, if I had any flaws with it, maybe it's a little bit slow, and also I don't overall know how I feel about the ending, because it feels satisfying, but there's also a part of it that didn't quite feel satisfying. But I do recommend you check this one out, because I think it deserves the support. Coming in at number 3, I have Gladiator 2. And I was so hesitant about this one, because the first Gladiator, one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a flawless movie, 5 out of 5. I love that movie to death. But when they announced a sequel not too long ago, I was going, why? That makes no sense why to do it. That makes no sense, because the ending of the first movie left off where, yeah, you went, yeah, there's no way to do a sequel after that. How you do that? And I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one. I think it's probably going to be in my top 10 of the year. Not going to be in my top 5, but it will be in my top 10 of the year. But the stuff they did with this particular film, I think they had really good reasons to do a sequel right after the first movie. I think the action sequences were upgraded a lot. I think all of them were pretty cool. The monkey sequence, and the whole entire battleship sequence that we saw in the trailers. So I thought those were really good. Denzel Washington. Oh, I would say all the performances, except one. I'll mention that a little bit later. I think all the performances in here are really, really good. The main lead actor replacing Maximus does really good with his character, and I would say it kind of is like Noah from earlier this year with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, where he's kind of the replacement for Caesar, and he's basically taking up his mantle. That would be what I would say with this new character, Commodus. I think that's what his name is. I forgot what his name is, but he basically, I think, is the Noah of the Gladiator franchise, where he basically takes up the mantle of Maximus. I think Joseph Quinn and I forgot the other actor's name, I apologize, both deliver hilariously over the top performances as these Roman emperors, which if you know the time frame, they basically did act like that. So they did act perfectly in that role, and they're so hilarious for me. Denzel Washington, you can tell he's having a blast, and he delivers a really good performance, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor of the Year, because he did a great job. Pedro Pascal does good while still being underutilized. I don't think they used him a whole lot throughout the whole entire film, and that's speaking from someone that Pedro Pascal is one of his favorite actors working today. There was acting from a returning character that we saw in the trailers that was Maximus's supposed, I don't know. Anyway, from the movie, the first movie was supposedly his love interest. I don't know. I don't get too deep into the lore with the first movie with what they described there, even though I love that movie. I don't know, it feels like her performance was a little bit off. I don't think she acted good in this one. I think the first one she acted good, but I think she's a little bit older now and she didn't act really good in this one. But overall, really surprised with Gladiator 2. I was everything hesitant about this movie, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was great. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. Coming in at number 2, this is currently my second favorite movie of the year, and that is Heretic, which I was very excited for walking into it because I heard all the early Fantastic Fest buzz about how phenomenal this movie was. So I went in to go see it by myself, and this was awesome. I loved it. Hugh Grant delivers, I think, the best performance of the year. He delivered a stellar performance where he delivers a charming kind of evil performance, but then there's also points in the movie where he just turns menacingly evil, and he does great at that as well, where he challenges the beliefs of these I forgot what the term was called, but basically it asks a lot of interesting questions about faith, religion, and stuff, and it does really great with those concepts throughout the whole entire movie, and it has you keep on thinking on your feet how is this going to end? I would say the scares are quite good in here too. I would say that this is probably the most smartly written movie of the year with its dialogue. Most of the scares are just through dialogue, and they did a phenomenal job with that. So yeah, Heretic, my second favorite movie of the year. But coming in at number 1 was a movie everyone else that I had seen but I had not seen, and I looked on demand to find something to watch one night, and I found...
Who are you? I'm Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. And Kick-Ass was Kick-Ass. You see what I did there? Basically, this was before Deadpool's movie came out, and basically Deadpool's movie, I think, took a lot of liberties from this, because there's a lot of similar styles, but this one's a little bit more grounded, of course. Aaron Taylor Johnson, this might be one of his first role, I would like to say. Delivers a really good performance as our particular protagonist. There's also fun side characters in here where you have Nicolas Cage as Big Daddy, where he's making fun of Batman. You can tell he's having a blast as well, and he had me chuckling quite a bit throughout the whole entire movie. Chloe Grace Moretz is also in here as Hit Girl, and she delivers a good performance too. The action sequences, this is by Matthew Vaughn, of course, who did the 2 Kingsman movies, and the action yet again is awesome throughout the whole entire movie. Mark Strong also is another person that you can tell is having a blast in his role where he's playing the villain. He has a gangsta accent, which usually he hasn't done, but that was kind of fun to see him in that role. But overall, I just loved Kick-Ass. I thought it was a fun time. And hopefully the second movie comes on demand soon too as well, because I would want to check that one out because I loved this first film so much. And are we gonna get Kick-Ass 3? I have no idea. I hope we do. Anyways, that is the ranking done. Now let's move on to my overhaul. So my overhaul is the new stuff I got this month. Just gonna take a drink of water real quick because I talked a lot. All right, so first up, we have the stuff that, I got from the, wait, what? Hold on a second, I might be missing something. Oh, okay, I was about to say. This is one I don't own yet, but it is in the family cabinet, and that is the Twisters 4K. And originally, I think I was a little more harsher on it than I thought I was, because I gave it a B plus. Now I'd probably give it an A minus, because now that time has now that I cannot speak. Now that time has stood by, I think I really, really, really like this movie. It's probably gonna be in my top 10 of the year. I loved it. So, and I'll probably have to rewatch. I'll probably want to rewatch it again, because I think now I'd give it an A minus or A instead of a B plus, because it's really fun, and I thought it was miles better than the first Twisters. So now we got movies I got from the family collection, and I got 5 movies. I got Santa Claus 2, The Escape Clause, which of course, perfect timing, right? Because it's December now. So, which that one's decent. Kingsman: The Secret Service. Speaking of Matthew Vaughn, and speaking of what I was talking about earlier, a great action movie. I love it. Turbo, DreamWorks movie. It's such a weird concept though, with a speedy snail. That's very weird. Sum of All Fears. The only Jack Ryan movie I've ever watched fully is Jack Ryan: Shadow Recruit with Chris Pine, which I thought that was good. I've never seen this though, all the way through. I've seen bits and clips, but I've never seen it all the way through. Then also I got Avengers Endgame on 4K, of course, which I've had this in years, and it's one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. What else do I have to say? Now we got stuff that I actually got this month. Alright, so let me get this. Alright, and for those who did not know, I went to Universal this month. So I got a couple stuff there. I got 5 different things. So we're going to do the Universal stuff first. And then also I have a poster to show on the wall that I also got this month as well. So I got 4 comic books at Universal in the Marvel area for all the Marvel area with Spider-Man Ride, Hulk, and Tower Doom, Doctor Doom. You get it. So I got 4 comic books that looked interesting. So I got Avengers Twilight. It just looked interesting, and it had Hawkeye on there, and it looks like an interesting storyline. You got New Mutants right there. And I do have a lot of comic books, by the way. I would just like to say that. I haven't read most of them, but I have them. So, Maestro World War M. So, this is the Maestro comic book. Of course, for those who do not know who Maestro is from the comics, he is the Incredible Hulk, but in the distant future where he becomes a villain. So or is it a multiverse? I don't know, but yeah, that's his comic. So he's an interesting villain. And then also just in time for the new Captain America movie coming out in February. Did they push it back? I don't know. Captain America: The Symbol of Truth, which has, of course, Sam Wilson as Captain America, and then you also have the new Falcon. I forgot what the character's name was, but yeah. Then we got physical media, aka movies, TV shows, whatever. I also went Black Friday shopping, so be sure to check out that vlog as well after this, not if you're interested. So also along at Universal as well, I got this Monty Python movie, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, which I have no clue what it is. I just bought it because it was a physical media at Universal, so I got it, and I have the other Monty Python and the Holy Grail there too as well. Then we have some stuff that I just bought on my own before Black Friday. That we got the Jeepers Creepers Steelbook. I love this movie, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I think it's awesome, besides the director's story, of course. Yeah, not a great man whatsoever. Yeah, that movie's awesome either way. Then you also got Arcane League of Legends Season 1, which on 4K Steelbook. That was a Blu-ray Steelbook, by the way. But this is on 4K Steelbook. And I've started watching the show. I've watched 6 episodes. The other 3 I might be watching tonight. And those are the final 3 episodes. And overall, I would say it is a phenomenal show. I will admit, it is great. And now Jax, Emma, and Jordan can stop stop going, oh, you need to watch the show, Lucas. Oh, you need to watch the show. And also, now we got the stuff that I got on Black Friday. So I got another new release added to the collection. I got Godzilla X Kong New Empire, which I actually surprisingly enjoyed way more than I thought I would earlier this year. I do enjoy most of the MonsterVerse movies. But this one I just felt, I don't know. I feel this one's not going to be as good as those, is it? And surprisingly, it might be my favorite. It might be my favorite or second favorite of the MonsterVerse movies so far. I definitely enjoyed this more than the first Godzilla versus Kong. I also got and I got that at Target Walmart, along with this, the Batman the Animated Series complete Blu-ray collection of the shows, and I had the DVD originally, and I decided to upgrade it to Blu-ray. So yeah, there's that. Also, this is the... you'll have to see the vlog to see what I'm talking about. But Target, all their physical media was basically gone. It was all shoved into directly one pile. And I was so like, why? And I asked, hey, is there any more physical media here? And then they said, no, we're gonna stop selling that now because we're streaming services and stuff, which another company goes down after Best Buy, getting rid of physical media. So hopefully Walmart doesn't do it next, fingers crossed. But I got this at Target, the Equalizer 3 movie Blu-ray collection, which I'm a big gritty action movie guy, so I'm excited to check these out. And the only other ones they had at Target that I saw that was brand new was Madam Web. So yeah, I'm not getting that. That's all I'll say. Alright, now I will show you guys the Gladiator poster that I got. Gladiator 2 poster, to be exact, while going to see the movie. And that right there is the Gladiator 2 poster. I think it looks really cool, don't you guys? Alright, but with that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this November 2024 monthly check. And we're almost through. We're almost through 2024. We just got one more monthly check left, the December one, which probably I'll actually do in January. So, and I also will be doing my yearly check as well, ranking all the movies I saw in theaters from the worst to the best. So, well, not theaters, on the new releases. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.